Welcome back to the Girl Power Alliance podcast. This is Michelle Schaffer here. I am the founder and CEO of Girl Power Alliance. I'm so happy to be here with you. I have begun back at the microphone, just me and the microphone. My last podcast, I said I have really missed sitting here and just chatting with you. So I'm back. I wanted to share some thoughts today. I was on a call with a group of women from Europe actually a week ago, and we went through all of the things about Girl Power Alliance and who we are, our mission, and at the end we did a Q&A, and they had some amazing questions. And one of the questions that was asked of me was, what has been the biggest blessing? What has been, they asked what the biggest struggle was and a lot of things, but what has been the biggest blessing since founding Girl Power Alliance, which has actually been a couple of years ago, even though the model that we are now is a little over about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half old. But really, Girl Power Alliance was founded in 2020. So she asked, what was your biggest blessing? And I wanted to share that with you today because there have been so many. There have been just an unbelievable amount of blessings that have come as a result of this amazing company, the relationships that I have made, watching the tremendous breakthroughs that women have had, my own growth as a result of being in this environment and being around so many amazing people that I get to learn from all the time. There have been some just amazing things. I could do a whole podcast on how my personal leadership has leveled up, like the next level, the next level, and I like 10x. I've 10x since starting Girl Power Alliance. Just kind of being forced into situations and environments where I had no choice but to really level up in a lot of ways. So there's been so many blessings. I can't even. It's hard to pick if I had to tell you guys how many blessings or what's been. But there's something that stands out as the biggest blessing. And I'm hoping that it can also become your biggest blessing as well. Like everybody else, I'm a human being, and it's great when you get encouragement, right? Whether it's just a message or a phone call or a family member or a friend, somebody just encouraging you and saying, you're on the right path. Congrats, you're doing it. And as a follower of Christ, it's really amazing if somebody can speak a prophetic word over you, or some type of a confirmation can come as a result of something that you feel maybe God has like laid on your heart. And you're thinking, is that you, God, or is that me? Maybe you're not sure. And then a confirmation comes. Somebody asks you a question, or a door opens, or you meet a person and you're like, yes, that was exactly the confirmation that I needed to be able to, feel rock solid that this is the thing that God is wanting me to do or say or act on or feel, or whatever the situation is. And I think that oftentimes, we really look to those encouragements before we make a move. And in addition to that, it's so important to have a community of support. I think it's one of the most remarkable and amazing things about being part of Girl Power Alliance is this incredible, ridiculous community of support. It's so great that when people come in, they think this cannot possibly be real. This has got to be fake, because it's so genuine, authentic, encouraging, uplifting, supportive, transparent, and allows you to be seen exactly as you are. It's amazing. I can't say enough about it. But oftentimes, we feel as human beings like without that support, we can't move forward. I don't have anybody supporting me. I don't have anybody backing me. I don't have anybody believing me. And then to take it a step further, I am so blessed to have so many people personally, specifically praying for me, praying for the company, and praying for me, a hedge of protection around me. And it was about a year ago, I was on a call with some women, an amazing group of leaders, our Radiant Leadership and life coaches here, the women that teach the Radiant Leadership Academy. And one of the women asked a question to me. She said, who do you have, me? Who do I have that is praying for me? Who is, surrounding me with uplifting support and prayer and covering me in prayer. And who do I turn to? And this is all wrapping into my biggest blessing. Because in the past, of course, like everybody else, I feel that I need that and able to move forward. I feel that I need that to be able to have the courage, the strength, and the covering, really, the spiritual covering to walk into whatever it is that God has for me. And I think most people feel that way. Like, I really need your prayers. I really need your support. And we do. I do need that. But when I was asked this question a year ago, my response was, um, I don't. I don't have like a group of women that just I get together with or get on a call with or whatever once a month just to cover me in prayer. And I don't need it. Is it amazing? Yes. Is it beneficial? Absolutely. But I no longer require that. The biggest blessing that has happened to me as a result of founding this amazing company is my relationship with the Lord has grown such deep roots. And I have had deep roots. I have loved the Lord my entire life. Haven't always followed, haven't always obeyed, but I have loved the Lord my entire life. He has always been a guiding light for me. I have always tried to do my best to listen to the Lord and be obedient to him. And as I've gotten older, that's gotten easier and easier because I can hear him so much more clearly. My own spiritual intelligence, if you will, my SQ, my spiritual intelligence has grown because I have devoted hours, years to my relationship with him, to really wanting to sow into it and steward it. And this outward thing that I think most of us feel like we need, this covering from other people, this outward confirmation and a covering of people to wrap you up in prayer consistently and hold you in that space. I no longer require it. My relationship with Jesus is so rock solid. I hear from him so clearly, and my faith has grown so radically since starting this company that those things that are amazing to have, they're amazing to have. And oftentimes people feel lacking without them. I do not feel lacking without them. I welcome when people want to pray with me and for me and cover me personally in prayer. And I welcome prophetic words to be spoken over me and the business of my family and all. I welcome it. I never close the door to it. But my relationship, my personal relationship with Jesus is so profoundly strong that any of that outside stuff does not matter anymore to me. Maybe this sounds crazy as I'm saying it out loud. I hope it doesn't get misunderstood because I'm not saying that, I'm not saying don't pray for me. Please continue to pray for me, my family, continue to pray for this company and the women that are both here and yet to come. Please continue to pray. But my attitude, my actions, my obedience are no longer predicated on anything other than what the Lord speaks to me individually and personally. And I have never felt so profoundly strong in my faith, which has given me the ability to feel the authority that was given to me. You have authority that is given to you as well. And every one of us does. It's part of the gifts that are given to us when we accept uh, Christ into our lives and our hearts, and we really build a life on that foundation. That's part of the gifting is, the profound gift of the Holy Spirit and the authority as a daughter of the King, as somebody who walks with him, as somebody who is a co-heir, right? This is what we have been given. And it's hard to wrap our minds around. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around. And oftentimes in the business world, especially in network marketing, and just the whole world of social media and influencers and everything, there is so much ego out there. People are so self-centered. They're centered on growing their influence, making sure their name gets known, making sure they get the credit. This is a big part of the world, really every business. But because of social media, it's bigger than ever. People just they want to be known. They want to be famous. They want to be a YouTuber, TikToker, you know, Instagram influencer, just get paid because you're cute and you're holding up an item or whatever. So, it's very self-centric. And the whole new age world is based around the whole philosophy is predicated on this idea that you hold the answers. Everything you need is already inside of you. Keep searching, you'll find it. This never ending seeking and searching that is the personal development world in general. I'm speaking in generalities. It's not 100%, but it's very, very prevalent, which is why so many Christians veer away from that personal development world, because it's super new agey and it veers you completely off of the path from the answer, from the solution. There is one. No, the answers do not lie inside of you. This is why I don't like the coaching profession, because that's the whole thing is wrapped around asking questions of the people that are being coached, because the answers lie inside of you already. If the answers lied inside of me, then I certainly wouldn't need God the way that I need him. I desperately need his influence and voice over every decision that I make all day, every single day. He has the answer. The Holy Spirit has the answer. His guidance, his love, his influence are the answer, not mine, not my knowledge. Uh, Nothing about any gift that I have been given is enough. It's not supposed to be. And that doesn't make me feel bad or insecure or less than. It it makes me feel amazingly free. It is this incredible freedom when you realize that you were never actually supposed to have the answer, and you are not enough, and nor were you ever designed to be enough. That he is. It's exactly like Paul says in the Bible. It is, I boast of my weakness, because in my weakness, he is strong. It is his strength that gets the glory. It's his idea that gets the glory. It's his influence that gets the glory. It's been this incredible, profound gift that I have been given. It is for sure my biggest blessing of being here at Girl Power Alliance. Like all the things that we do, and even your calling, this thing that you feel inside of you that you're called to do, all of these things are secondary and like less than secondary. The most important thing that you will ever do in this life is cultivate that incredible intimacy with the Lord. It's the most important thing. It should be the priority. So when I think about all of the amazing blessings, there's nothing that even comes close to this gift that I have been given, to this relationship that I now have with the Lord. That is priority one. It's my first line of defense. It's the first thing I go to. And, you know, it's amazing when we can have that quiet time every day in prayer, just to kind of shut out the world. A lot of people have like a prayer closet. Do you have that? You can just shut out the world and spend time with the Lord. It's amazing when you can have that. And I think for a lot of people, as they're really growing their relationship with the Lord, you need that. Like you need the ability to actually like separate yourself from everything so that you can really commune with the Lord. Hear from him, shutting out all sounds and distractions, right? But what happens over time, and it's happened for me, is while that is amazing if I can do it, I no longer need that. I am in a never ending conversation with the Lord. I have fine tuned and asked God repeatedly for years to help me to hear his voice, and I have learned to respond to that voice, so I recognize it. I am in a constant conversation with the Lord. Do I still have like set aside time for him? I do. A lot of times for me it's at the gym. I have my headphones on, I have worship music on. I love to worship and speak with him Like, that's my private time when I'm moving my body, going for a walk. One of these really, really profound things for me is that moving my body and really allowing that time to be between me and him. My workouts are totally worship and no matter what I'm doing. But once that time is over, my worship time and my communication time is not over. I am listening to him all day in real time. I can't think of another blessing that is better than that. And oftentimes, as if you're in the business world, if you're in the marketplace, we get so hyper focused on this thing that we know that we're called to do or think that we're called to do that it takes precedent over everything else. But the bottom line is, even that, even the impact you were designed to have, even the authority that you were given is not the most important thing. The most important thing is your personal relationship with the Lord. It's the most important thing. And when I think of this, when I talk about this, I think about my children, like at my relationship with them individually. I'm so happy when they're happy and things are going well in their life. But the most important thing to me is not none of that stuff. It's how are we doing? How is my relationship with them? How's our communication? Do they feel loved? Do they feel seen? That's the most important thing to me when it comes to my children. And I think that that must be how the Lord feels, our Heavenly Father. The most important thing is your personal relationship with Him. Everything else is lower on the list. So what an amazing thing that I have been able to experience, and I pray it only gets stronger and louder and deeper. This incredible freedom that I feel in who I am now, in who I'm not, in my authority, like I said earlier, and for probably the last, I don't know, how old am I? 50. It's probably been 10 years. I like to spend some time at the end of a year and kind of ask God, like, what do you have for me in the next year? Do you have a word or a verse or a phrase or something or a theme, like as we move into the new year that you are calling me to? Sometimes I would pray over it. Sometimes I would just sit and journal over it. Sometimes it would just come to me. Last couple of years, it's just come to me like in a random moment where I wasn't thinking about it, which is kind of how I know it's God. And I was in the gym. Shocker, I was in the gym. And I felt the Lord speak over me for 2024, the word territory. And that all at once, this whole idea, this thought, just really enveloped me that 2024 is the year of taking ground. It's the year of staking your claim to what is already yours, what you already have authority over, taking dominion over um, areas in the kingdom that belong to Him. That it's our job to take dominion over those things for Him, for the kingdom. The marketplace is one of them. Like, I don't know who and when we began to believe the lie that Jesus does not belong in the marketplace. As followers of Christ, we should be planting kingdom seeds everywhere we go in every profession that we are in. And somehow, some way, the personal development world, people forgot to seed it. They left it alone. And what I think happens for believers is you think, oh, that's bad. That has been corrupted by the enemy and evil and bad people, and we're just going to stay away from it. But is that what we're supposed to do? Or are we supposed to take it back? Are we supposed to claim dominion over that thing, whatever it is? I was listening to something the other day and it was talking about how, the internet is just flooded with pornography and people think the internet is bad. I've heard some believers even say, I believe the internet is the Antichrist, right? Because there is so much evil and bad that happens as a result of having access to the internet. But isn't it an amazing tool also? What if we claimed dominion as believers over the internet and the internet became a place of radical revival and blessing? and tools to help continue to seed areas of the world for the kingdom. We as believers have shrunk back. I think we've forgotten what God said in the beginning of the Bible to Adam. He gave us dominion. So I'm very excited about whatever is God has planned for 2024. And I know that taking ground is going to be a big part of it. If you're listening to this podcast or watching it on YouTube, I just want to invite you to be part of what we're doing. We are planting seeds all over the place in a bunch of areas, in the marketplace, in network marketing, in personal professional development, in leadership. We're planting kingdom seeds everywhere. We're not going to allow the lies of the enemy. We're not going to allow this corrupted view of things like money. I could do a whole podcast on how the enemy has corrupted our view of money. Money is the root of all evil. No, no, no. The love of money is the root of all evil. And money is probably the most profound tool that we have in the kingdom to bless lives and to be an agent of change in the world. And believers are scared of it. I'm not scared of it. I'm taking dominion over finances, not just for me, but for anybody listening to this. I'm going to stake claim over your finances for the kingdom, that you would no longer be buried under the debt, under the burden of debt, that you would no longer be so worried about finances, but that God would provide not just enough to make ends meet, but more than enough, so that out of the overflow of the abundance that God has provided for you, you can take that and seed the kingdom in a multitude of areas. That's one of the things that we're doing here inside Girl Power Alliance. I don't shy away from it. I'm not afraid of it. People ask me, actually, I was asked recently on a call, so what are you focused on, impact or income? I said, both. Absolutely both. We are excited about all the resources that we have to help transform lives and help women and soon men to really stand in their identity, to know who they are, whose they are, and to enjoy this incredible, profound freedom that comes as a direct result of an intimate relationship with the Lord. And at the same time, while doing that, introducing other people to be able to have that same experience and be blessed yourself by the finances that come through the actual opportunity that is Girl Power Alliance. It seems so simple to me. And it seems so, I feel so lucky to do this. I truly do. I feel so blessed that this is what I get to wake up and do every day. And yes, there'll be naysayers and people that say things that goes with it. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of the questions. I'm not afraid of the opposition. I'm not afraid of the warfare. Because I know who's already won the battle. And I am part of this army of people that are waking up every day to live for Him, to live for our King, and to help expand His kingdom. My job is to expand the kingdom through what I am doing and to help you stand in your identity and expand the kingdom with whatever it is that He has for you. It's an amazing, incredible blessing. I just want to say to you, thank you for being a part of Girl Power Alliance. Even if you're just a podcast listener, we have so many amazing things that are in store for 2024 that are you ready to claim your land and take more ground in 2024? I want to invite you into not just our community, but to become a member or to become an ambassador with us here. Help us move the needle. Help us invite more women into this community so that we can help impact more lives, so that they can go impact more lives and more lives and more lives. One life at a time, one family at a time, one change at a time, $1 at a time, right? It can seem like an overwhelming task to help be part of the change that's happening in the world, but it's not, because every single individual life, conversation, and person matters so much. So we just focus on the one, and then we get to the next one, and we get to the next one. And before you know it, millions of lives have been changed. So this is your official invitation. It's time to join us. We've got a lot of amazing things going on. The Girl Power Alliance opportunity. Now we have the GPA merch affiliate opportunity. We've got an exciting challenge that we're going to be announcing and starting as of January 1st. That's available to anybody and everybody. And you have the opportunity to be a part of a community of women that are going to love you so much. You're going to actually feel uncomfortable with it at first. You're going to be like, this isn't real. And then when you begin to experience it, you become transformed. The only thing that will transform you, the only thing truly, is the love of Christ. So when you're surrounded by a community of hundreds and hundreds of women who are loving you with the love of Christ, there's nothing you can do to stop the transformation that's coming for you. So if you're looking in 2024 to become exactly who it is that God designed you to be, to take dominion over your finances, over your calling, over your family, if you're looking to have a bigger impact and to walk in freedom this year, all it takes is your yes. Join us here inside Girl Power Alliance. Change yourself, change the world.